Welcome to part 2 of our endocrine anatomy lesson. You can find this on the first page of your MultiSystem module. So in part 1, we already talked about how all of the endocrine glands and organs work together to produce, secrete, and store hormones that eventually are dropped into the bloodstream that are all helping our body have homeostasis and provide metabolism and growth and work with our reproductive functions. In this part 2, we're going to talk so much more about the pancreas and our sex organs because this is going to help us in our future lessons to come. So getting started, we're going to look at our pancreas. And the pancreas is super interesting because of that dual role it plays that we talked about in part 1. So remember, it has that endocrine function where it's secreting that insulin and that glucagon, and it's helping regulate our blood sugar. But it also has that exocrine function where it's helping break down our food and provide digestive enzymes. So we're going to break apart the pancreas here. So next to our pancreas is going to be this small intestine. And as you can imagine, this plays that critical role in initiating the phase of digestion, and it receives partially digested food from the stomach and enzymes from the pancreas. So this little area here is the duodenum of the small intestine. So this is the beginning of our small intestine after the stomach. And this purple organ is our spleen, and this acts like a filter for blood. It removes old red blood cells and produces white blood cells to fight infections. And our spleen also stores blood and platelets that help the body's immune system. So right here, connecting to our spleen is this splenic artery. So this is supplying oxygenated blood to the spleen, and it supports the vital functions of that filtering blood, the immune system surveillance, and hematopoiesis, the formation of blood cellular components. We have our bile duct and our common bile ducts, and these are critical little channels that transport bile from the liver and gallbladder to the duodenum, where it aids in that digestion and absorption of fats. And this accessory pancreatic duct, or duct of Santorini that it's sometimes called, is an alternative pathway for pancreatic juices to flow from the pancreas to the duodenum that also supports digestive processes. And the pancreatic duct transports digestive enzymes and bicarbonate from the pancreas to the duodenum that facilitates the digestion of carbs, proteins, and fats. And we also have digestive enzymes, and these are produced by various organs, including our pancreas, and they are secreted into the digestive tract to help break down food into nutrients that the body can absorb and utilize. So this is that exocrine function that we were talking about. So then we have these acinar cells in the pancreas, and they produce the digestive enzymes. They're secreted into the small intestine, and they play an important role for this digestion we keep talking about. And then we have our pancreatic islet, and this is also called the islet of Langerhans. And this contains endocrine cells that produce important hormones like our insulin and our glucagon that are critical for glucose metabolism and homeostasis. And next, we're going to do a basic breakdown of the male testes. So these are vital for male reproductive health. They produce sperm and testosterone, and they're supported by a blood supply that ensures nutrient delivery and hormonal regulation. The ductus deferens transports sperm from the testes to the urethra, and that's the pathway to ejaculation. And next is our uterus, and this is a central reproductive organ in females, and it's supported by our fallopian tubes where fertilization occurs, and the ovaries produce eggs and hormones. And this ligament stabilizes the uterus, while the cervix acts as a gateway between the uterus and vagina, and this plays critical roles in menstruation, pregnancy, and childbirth. And the ovaries produce the following hormones. It produces estrogen, progesterone, our anti-Müllerian hormone, our inhibit A, inhibit B, and testosterone. And all of these are essential for reproductive health, pregnancy, and female characteristics. And before we go, we're going to fill in our blanks. So certain organs in the body, like the thyroid gland and pancreas, produce hormones essential for regulating various functions. The thyroid, for instance, creates hormones that manage our energy levels, while the pancreas produces insulin to regulate the body's energy use. So hormones ensure everything within our body operates timely and accurately. And again, this overall goal is going to be keeping our body at homeostasis, because if we're not in homeostasis, our cells do not have a good environment to thrive in, and then all kinds of things can go bad, and this is when we get really sick. We're gonna get into that when we have a acid-base potential problem in future lessons. This concludes part 2 of our endocrine anatomy. I will see you in the next one.